afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be having a Time for Change call tomorrow night, Wednesday, at 9 p.m. Eastern. Freedom means the opportunity to be what we never thought we would be. Daniel Forston. Relax and take this moment of your precious life to relax your body right now. Breathe deeply into your heart. Let everything be okay as it is. Be fully relaxed and at ease in this moment. Notice how different you feel. The instant we relax, our heart opens, and the mind automatically stops grasping to overcome its problems. By relaxing, we learn that we can surrender to this life and actually become the solution we were seeking. Every problem in our lives are instantly solved through this divine, all-loving expansion heart energy within us. It is always available and found through relaxation and surrender. By learning to relax, we learn to trust this life. This practice of a deeper relaxation is how this divine solution will constantly manifest into our lives. It's good to know that at the very core of our hearts, there is always a current of peace and an abundant river of bliss. If you aren't feeling this now, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that you haven't yet opened your heart fully to this moment and tamed the wild, chattering, relentless mind completely. The mind with its ego-driven tendencies does not want to ride this gentle river of heart-centered bliss. If the ego fell into the river of bliss, it would die. The ego knows this and feels afraid to totally let go. Trust and completely dissolve and merge with the bliss. And yes, it most certainly will die. Yet with every death is also a wondrous rebirth. When the mind thinks too much, the ego believes that it's in charge of everything. The ego gets stirred up and thinks it's in control of the universe, no matter what happens or doesn't happen in this life. It starts demanding for things to be different than they are. Forgets to ask with kindness for what it wants, and becomes impatient, aggressive, and insensitive. These qualities are how we know that the ego is in the driver's seat, running the show, pretending that it is in charge. The ego does not want to realize that we are all divine beings that are connected to an infinite source of wisdom, vast cosmic intelligence, and universal love. The ego's job is to create the illusion of separation so we can have the experience of unification with Source. The truth is that our divine infinite nature is permanent and already here inside of us all right now. This divinity is always here, always now, always available, no matter what the ego believes or experiences. Once we choose to be the masters of our mind, the ego becomes our faithful servant. And we soon discover this natural river of bliss inside our hearts. The silence of the mind allows us to discover the sacred stream within. Only with an infinite amount of patience will the mind stop its controlling, repetitious, chaotic patterns. Only with infinite presence will the mind come to a complete stop, and we will become 100% absorbed in the divine source. This opportunity to experience is found within every moment. The silence between our every breath contains the doorway, and our hearts are the key. It's a choice. Choose to begin the process of mastering your mind by redirecting your focus repetitively towards your heart. The more often you place your attention there, the more love, awareness, and energy flows to and from there. Eventually, this awesome chakra center will open, and you'll experience your true spiritual connection to this infinite river of bliss. This simple practice will bring your life much greater joy, wisdom, and clarity than any major accomplishment you could have had in the physical world. It's a devotion to tame our minds. Like every morning, you can do a visualization, flowering heart visualization. Focus on the essence of your heart. Feel the energy your heart has. Let it be exactly the way it is. Thank your heart for giving you life. Now imagine that your heart has become a beautiful flower. Imagine that its soft, gentle petals are opening to the warm rays of the sun. Receive the warm, healing light rays of the sunshine in your heart. Let the light come pouring in and radiate through your heart and spread into every cell through your body. Let this divine light energy radiate all around your body, filling the room, city, country, penetrating every person in this world. Continue to let this energy flow until you feel completely at peace and at home inside yourself. Randomly throughout your day, become this flower. Let the sensations you practice feeling inside your heart expand throughout your body. Watch closely and notice the difference that occurs when your whole body becomes soft, receptive, and flower-like. Rest completely in the true essence of your heart as frequently and as often as you can. If you are able to do this randomly, at least 15 minutes a day, let's say for the next week, you'll see a tremendous change occurring. Soon your mind will quiet, and you will naturally notice the bodily sensations of peace everywhere you go. Know that by embodying your heart chakra, you are bringing your life into a deep and divine connection with everyone and everything. External interference for all of us. When we desire or want to leave it and to go into the heart mind, can be quite distracting, because the ego mind does not want you to be anywhere but in yesterday or tomorrow or both at the same time. You can focus in the morning, concentrate, being at ease, and then you can end up being pulled by the ego mind into yesterday or tomorrow. It's as if you are not in control. It's as if the ego mind controls everything. But from the perspective and understanding that in the true reality, you oversee everything. So the illusion is the ego mind making you believe that it is your master and it's accepted. We win only with existence, never against existence. We win only with existence, never against existence. And remember, existence is not trying to defeat us. Our defeat is self-generated. We are defeated because we fight. If we want to be defeated, right, we fight. If we want to win, surrender. This is actually the paradox. Those who are ready to give in become the winners. The losers are the only winners in this game. The losers are the only winners in this game. Try to win, and your defeat is absolutely certain. It is only a question of time of when, but it is certain. It is going to happen. It is holy because we are one with the whole. We throb with it. We dance with it. We sing with it. We are like a leaf in the wind. The leaf simply dances with the wind. It has no will of its own. This will-lessness is what many call sannyas. What the sutra calls holy. The Sanskrit word for holy is bhagavati. That is even more important to be understood than the word holy, because the word holy can carry some Christian connotations to it. Bhagavati is feminine for Bhagavan. First, the sutra did not use the word Bhagavan. It used Bhagavati, the feminine, because the source of all is feminine, not masculine. It is yin, not yang. It is a mother, not a father. The Christian concept of God as the Father is not so beautiful. It is nothing but male ego. The male ego cannot think that God can be a she. The male ego wants God to be a he. And we see the whole Christian Trinity. All three are men. Woman is not included there. God the Father, and Christ the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It is an all-male club. And remember well, that the feminine is far more fundamental in life than the man. Because only the woman has a womb. Only the woman can give birth to life, to new life. It comes through the feminine. Why does it come through the feminine? It is not just accidental. It comes through the feminine because only the feminine can allow it to come. Because the feminine is receptive. The masculine is aggressive. The feminine can receive, absorb, can become a passage. The Sanskrit sutra says Bhagavati, not Bhagavan. It is of immense importance. That perfect wisdom out of which all the Buddhas, enlightened ones, come, is a feminine element, a mother. The womb has to be a mother. Once you think of God as the Father, you don't seem to understand what you're doing. The Father is an unnatural institution. The Father does not exist in nature. The Father has existed only for a few thousand years. It is a human institution. The Mother exists everywhere. The Mother is natural. The Father came into the world because of private property. The Father is part of economics, not of nature. And once private property disappears, if it ever disappears, the Father will disappear. The Mother will remain there always and always. We cannot conceive of a world without the Mother. We can conceive of a world without the Father very easily. And the very idea is aggressive. Have you not seen? Only Germans call their country the fatherland. Every other country calls it the motherland. These are dangerous people. Motherland is okay, but calling your country the fatherland, you're starting something dangerous. You are putting something dangerous on foot. Sooner or later, the aggression will come. The war will come. The seed is already there. All the religions that have thought of God as the Father have been aggressive religions. Christianity is aggressive. So is Islam. And you know perfectly well that the Jewish God is a very angry and arrogant God. The Jewish God declares, if you are not for me, then you are against me, and I will destroy you. And I am a very jealous God. Only worship me. The people who have thought of God as the mother have been nonviolent people. Buddhists have never fought a war in the name of religion. They have never tried to convert a single human being by any force, by coercion, of whatsoever sort. Mohammedans have tried to convert people with a sword against their will, against their conscience, against their consciousness. Christians have tried to manipulate people to become Christians in all kinds of ways. Sometimes through the sword, sometimes through bread, sometimes through other persuasions. Buddhism is the only religion that has not converted a single human being against his conscience. Only Buddhism is a non-violent religion because the concept of the ultimate reality is feminine. Homage to the perfection of wisdom, the lovely, the holy. Remember, truth is beautiful. Truth is beauty because truth is a benediction. Truth cannot be ugly, and the ugly cannot be true. The ugly is illusory. When we see an ugly person, don't be deceived by his ugliness. Search a little deeper and you will find a beautiful person hidden there. Don't be deceived by ugliness. Ugliness is in your interpretation. Life is beautiful. Truth is beautiful. Existence is beautiful. It knows no ugliness. It is lovely, it is feminine, and it is holy. But remember, what is meant by holy is not what is ordinarily meant, as if it is otherworldly, as if it is sacred against the mundane and the profane. No, all is holy. There is nothing which can be called mundane or profane. All is sacred because all is suffused with one. There are Buddhas and Buddhas. Buddha trees, Buddha dogs, Buddha birds, Buddha men, and Buddha women, but all are Buddhas. All are on the way. Man is not God in ruins. Man is God in the making, on the way. There's a second sutra. Avalokita, the Holy Lord, the Bodhisattva, was moving in the deep course of the wisdom, which has gone beyond. He looked down from on high, and he beheld 5 heaps. He saw that in their own being they were empty. Avalokita is a name of Buddha. Literally, it means one who looks from above. Avalokita, one who looks from above, one who stands at the 7th center, Sahasrara, the transcendental, and looks from there. Naturally, whatsoever we see is contaminated by our standpoint, is contaminated by the space we are in. If a man who lives at the first rung, again, we're talking about the ladder in visualization, the physical body, the first rung, looks at anything, he looks from that standpoint. A man who lives at the physical only looks at your body. When he looks at you, he cannot look at more than that. He cannot see more than that. Your vision of things depends on from where you are looking. A man who is sexually disturbed, sexually involved in fantasies, only looks from that standpoint. A man who is hungry looks from that standpoint. Watch in your own self. You look at things. And each time you look at things, they appear different because you are different. In the morning, the world looks a little more beautiful than in the evening. In the morning, we are fresh. In the morning, we have come from a depth of great sleep. The deep sleep. The dreamless sleep. We have tasted something of the transcendental, although unconsciously. So in the morning, everything looks beautiful. People are more compassionate, more loving. People are pure in the morning. People are more innocent in the morning. By the time evening arrives, those same people will become more corrupted, more cunning, clever, manipulating, ugly, violent, deceiving. They are the same people, but in the morning, they were very close to the transcendental. By the evening, they have lived in the mundane, in the worldly, in the physical, too much. And they have become focused there. The man of perfection is one who can move through all these 7 chakras easily. That is the man of freedom, who is not fixed at any point, who is like a dial. You can adjust it to any vision. That is what is called a mukta, one who is really free. Mukta means one who is really free. He can move in all the dimensions and yet remain untouched by them. His purity is never lost. His purity remains of the transcendental. Buddha can come and touch your body, heal your body. He can become a body, but that is his freedom. He can become a mind, and he can talk to you and explain things to you, but he is never the mind. He comes and stands behind the mind, uses it, just as you drive your car. You never become the car. He uses all these rungs. He is the whole ladder. But his ultimate standpoint remains the transcendental. That is his nature. Avalokita means one who looks from the beyond at the world. Avalokita means one who looks from the beyond at the world. Avalokita, the Holy Land, Bodhisattva, was moving in the deep course of the wisdom, which has gone beyond. The sutra says this state of beyondness is not a static thing. It is a movement. It is a process, river-like. It is not a noun. It is a verb. It goes on unfolding. That's why Hindus call it the 1,000-petaled lotus. 1,000 simply means infinite. It is symbolic of infinity. Petals upon petals, petals upon petals, petals upon petals. Go on opening to no end. The journey begins but never ends. It is eternal pilgrimage. Avalokita, the Holy Lord and Bodhisattva, was moving in the deep course of the wisdom which has gone beyond. He was flowing like a river into the world of the beyond. He is called the Holy Lord, the Bodhisattva. Again, the Sanskrit word has to be remembered. The Sanskrit word is Iswara, which is translated as Holy Lord. Iswara means one who has become absolutely rich from his own riches, whose riches are of his own nature. Nobody can take them away. Nobody can steal them. They cannot be lost. All the riches that you have can be lost, can be stolen, will be lost. One day death will come and will take everything away. When somebody has come to the inner diamond that is his own being, death cannot take it away. Death is irrelevant to it. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be lost. Then one has become Iswara. Then one has become Holy Lord. Then one has become Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan simply means the deeply eternal loved one. Then one has become the deeply eternal loved one. Now his deeply eternal loving is eternally his. It depends on nothing. It is independent. It is not caused by anything, so it cannot be taken away. It is uncaused. It is one's intrinsic nature. And he is called Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is a very beautiful concept. It means one who has become a Buddha, but is still holding himself in the world of time and space to help others. Bodhisattva means essentially a Buddha. And we are all Buddhas, whether we know consciously or unconsciously. A Buddha is just help others. Bodhisattva means essentially a Buddha, is just ready to drop and disappear, is ready to go into nirvana. Nothing remains to be solved. All his problems are solved. There is no need for him to be here, but he is still here. There is nothing else to be learned here, but he is still here. And he is keeping himself in body form, in mind form. He is keeping the whole ladder. He has gone beyond. But he is keeping the whole ladder to help out of compassion. A story is told that Buddha reached the doors of the ultimate nirvana. The doors were open. The angels were dancing and singing to receive him. Because it really happens that a human being becomes a Buddha in millions of years. The doors open, and that day is naturally a great day of celebration. All the ancient Buddhas had gathered, and there was great rejoicing, and flowers were showering, and music was played, and everything was decorated, and it was a day of celebration. The Buddha did not enter the door. The ancient Buddhas, all with folded hands, asked him, requested him to come in. Why are you standing outside? And Buddha is reported to have said, unless all others who are coming behind me enter, I am not going to enter. Unless all others who are coming behind me enter, I am not going to enter. I will keep myself outside, because once I come in, then I disappear. Then I will not be of any help to these people. I see millions of people stumbling and groping in the dark. I have myself been groping the same way for millions of lives. I would like to give them my hand. Please close the door. When everybody has come, I myself will knock. Then you can receive me. This is a beautiful story. This is called the state of Bodhisattva. One who is ready to disappear, but still is holding in body, in mind, in the world, in time, in space, to help others. Buddha has said meditation is enough to solve your problems, but something is missing in it. Compassion. If compassion is also there, then you can help others solve their problems. He says meditation is pure gold. It has a perfection of its own. But if there is compassion, then the gold has a fragrance too. Then a higher perfection. Then a new kind of perfection. Gold with fragrance. Gold is enough unto itself. Very valuable. But with compassion, meditation has a fragrance. Compassion keeps a Buddha remaining a bodhisattva. Just on the borderline. And for a few days, a few years, one can hold, but not for long, because by and by things start disappearing on their own. When you are not attached with the body, you become dislocated from there. You can come sometimes with effort. You can use the body with effort, but you are no longer settled there. When you are no longer in the mind, you can use it sometimes, but it no longer functions as well as it used to function before. You are no longer flowering in it. When you are not using it, it is lying there. It is a mechanism. It starts gathering rust. When a man has reached the seventh, for a few days, for a few years, he can use the 6 rungs. He can go back and use them. But by and by, they start breaking. By and by, they start dying. A bodhisattva can be here for only one life, at the most. Then he has to disappear because the mechanism disappears. But all those who have attained have tried, as far as they can, to use the body to help those who are in the body and mind, to help those who can understand only the language of the body and the mind, to help the disciples. Avalokita, the Holy Lord and the Bodhisattva, was moving in the deep course of the wisdom which has gone beyond. He looked down from on high. He beheld but 5 heaps, and he saw that their own being, they were empty. When you look from that point, for example, that's why I say, I salute the Buddha in you. That is one vision from the beyond. That I see you as potential Buddhas. And another vision is just that I see you as empty shells. What you think you are is nothing but an empty shell. Somebody thinks he is a man. That is an empty idea. Consciousness is neither male nor female. Somebody thinks he has a very beautiful body. He is beautiful, strong, this and that. That is an empty idea. Just ego deceiving you. Somebody thinks he knows much. That is just meaningless. His mechanism has accumulated memories, and he is deceived by the memories. These are all empty things. So when seeing from the transcendental, on the one side, I see you as budding Buddhas. On the other side, I see you just as empty shells. Buddha's been known to have said that man consists of 5 elements, 5 skandhas, which are all empty. And because of the combination of the 5, a byproduct arises called the ego, the self. It is just like a clock functioning. It goes on ticking. You can listen, and the tick is there. You can open the clock. You can separate all the parts to find where the tick is coming from. Where is the tick? You will not find it anywhere. The tick is a byproduct. It is just a combination of a few things functioning together. We're creating a tick. That's what your eye is. 5 elements functioning together, creating the tick called eye. But it is empty. It has nothing in it. If you go and search for something substantial in it, you will not find anything. This is one of the Buddha's deepest intuitions, insights that life is empty, that life as we know it is empty, and life is full too. But we don't know anything about it. From this emptiness, we have to move forward and toward a fullness. But that fullness is unconceivable right now, because that fullness from this state will look only empty. From that state, your fullness looks empty. A king looks like a beggar. A man of knowledge, a knowledgeable man, looks stupid, ignorant. A certain holy man accepted a pupil, said to him, "It would be a good thing if you tried to write down all you understand about the religious life, and what has brought you to it." The pupil went away and began to write. A year later, he came back to the master and said, "I have worked very hard on this, and though it is far from complete, these are the main reasons for my struggle." Master read the work, which was many thousands of words, and then said to the young man, "It is admirably reasoned and clearly stated, but it is somewhat long. Try to shorten it a little." So the novice went away. After 5 years, he came back with a mere 100 pages. The master smiled. After he had read it, he said, "Now you are truly approaching the heart of the matter. Your thoughts have clarity and strength, but it is still a little long. Try to condense it, my son." The novice went away sadly, for he had labored hard to reach the essence. But after 10 years, he came back, and bowing low before the master, offered him just 5 pages and said, "This is the kernel of my faith, core of my life, and I ask your deeply eternal loving for having brought me to it." The master read it slowly and carefully. "It is truly marvelous," he said. "It is simplicity and beauty, but it is not yet perfect. Try to reach a final clarification." And when the master had reached the time appointed and was preparing for his end, his pupil returned to him again, and kneeling before him to receive his deep and eternal love, handed him a single sheet of paper on which was written nothing. Then the master placed his hands on the head of his friend and said, now you have understood." From that transcendental vision, what we have is empty from our vision, our neurotic vision. Buddha looks empty, just pure emptiness to us. Because of our ideas, because of our clinging, because of our possessiveness about things, Buddha looks empty. Buddha is full. We are empty. And this vision is absolute. Our vision is very relative. Now remember, Avalokita, the Holy Lord and Bodhisattva, was moving in the deep course of the wisdom which has gone beyond. He looked down from on high. He beheld 5 heaps, and he saw that in their own being they were empty. Emptiness is the key to Buddhism. Shunyata. Meditate over these. Meditate with love, with sympathy, not with logic, and not with reasoning. If you go to these sutras with logic and reasoning, you will kill their spirit. Don't dissect them. Try to understand them as they are. Don't bring your mind. Your mind will be an interference. If and when you can look at these without your mind, great clarity is going to happen to you. We have all this time that we spent in this world, this life, all of us, we are constantly seeking that which is outside of us. We don't go within, maybe briefly here and there. And it's challenging for us to go within and to stay in the now with devotion, to stay in gratitude 24/7 with devotion. And it's understandable because the ego mind has been our master for thousands of years, from the beginning. But when we begin to realize that all of our journeys outside of these bodies. Tens of thousands, millions of lifetimes. We come to the understanding that all of our answers to our questions, all of our feelings of insecurity, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, all of our wants, desires, all of that is within us. When we pray to the God we are inside these bodies. When you feel lonely, you refer to the fact that how in the heck can I be lonely when the God that I am is within this body? There's no way. It really isn't. But when we get caught up in the external world, it's kind of like leaving ourselves behind, leaving the God behind. Now, that's not possible because we are the God. But in the illusion that we are steeped in, the God is within, we open the door, shut the door, and then we venture outside of ourselves. Seeking, always seeking to find things, always seeking to achieve, to have, to want. Do you believe that when this civilization, when all of us come to the choice, the understanding, that now is the time to go within and stay within, for maybe ever, for millions more lifetimes. By going within, we understand, we learn to understand who and what we are. And we surrender to that. We completely surrender. We focus and we go within through the breath. Easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth. We listen to our breath. We leave the ego mind behind. We leave yesterday and tomorrow behind. We embrace the now, moment to moment. The ego mind will continually try to seduce us into the outside and leave the inside. But we're aware of that. We have come to the understanding that this is what the ego mind does. It isn't an enemy. It's a teacher. So when we understand that through our heart mind, we then begin to watch the ego mind. We don't judge. We're watching. That's it. We're just watching. And we watch as the ego mind generates all of these crazy thoughts. It generates all these wants and needs and all this stuff. And then we can see how it manipulates us, how it seduces us, how at times it intoxicates us. It is a constant. What we watch. And then we begin to understand. Thoughts are created and we identify that's an ego mind thought. I'm not interested in engaging with it. So the thought will float across the blue sky like a cloud, but you won't dive into it. You'll just let it float by. And that's the same with anything that you can identify the ego mind generating. You just let it float by. It's a choice. The majority of us will dive right into that cloud, move that thought, move the energy into form, create it into reality, and experience it. But you come to a stage, a point, and eventually we all will, where it just floats by. There's no interest to engage, to create it into reality and experience. There isn't any interest at all. We just watch them float by. We're within. We've pretty much understood through all these lifetimes out there. It's what we create to entertain ourselves and at the same time experience. It's all it is. The gods within us are infinite. We never die. We never will die. We're energy. Energy just takes on other forms. You try to blast energy with energy, it joins that energy and takes on more forms. We don't die. Most of the civilization has been taught through the social structure to cling to the body. This is the root of most of our fear, right? Most of the things that we do fear are connected to the physical, right? Poverty, can't eat, right? Fear of everything, fear of wealth. But you have to be wealthy before you can be poor. If you're poor, you won't even know what it's like to be wealthy, so you can't know what it's like to be poor. Fear of dying. We don't die. You see the illusions created by the ego mind. It's continual. That's what it does. It creates these things. And most of us embrace them. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath. Slowly in through the nose. And an easy breath slowly out of the mouth. For today, imagine the most exotic, heavenly, healing home of your dreams. Design it in your mind in great detail. Picture the layout of the land, the size of the home, the structure, the interior, decorations. Perhaps you have an outdoor pool, sauna, hot tub, personal massage parlor. This is your fantasy home, so make it the most exotic version you can fathom. Now, imagine your dream home is inside your heart. Actually visualize it there. See yourself in it, feeling safe and secure. Here. Know that you can leave or return to this palace at any time. Merge with the energy you feel in your heart center and relax into it. Rest and receive any awesome healing energy that comforts you. This space is extraordinary. An indescribable abundance and joy exists here that will spread all throughout your life. Abide in your heart's inner fantasy, sanctuary, today. Carry it inside you wherever you go. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, November 16th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call. Be good to yourself.